She won!
Welcome to Books We Never Read!
Except for those we have.
I'm Nicole.
And I'm Jason.
And this is just a quick little episode where we're going to talk about episode 1 of Three Body, produced by Tencent or on the Tencent platform. Three Body Problem was the first series of books that we read in our book club, and we loved it. And we've been so excited for all the talk of these like episode versions of Three Body Problem to come out.
Yeah.
So what did you think about episode 1?
So first off, if you want to watch these, I believe they are all, or at least the ones that are out now, they're all available on YouTube.
If you're in America.
If you're in America, yes. So if you want to watch them, find them on YouTube. They are all in Chinese, and so they are subbed. And that has not been a problem for me necessarily, but if you are going to watch it, you're going to have to watch it.
You gotta stop what you're doing. You can't be multitasking.
Yeah, you just gotta watch it. And I'm a little concerned about that because there's gonna be some stuff later on that I want to see, and I don't want to have to read at the same time. But all we've watched so far is the first episode. So
yeah, and it just might mean that maybe you kind of have to watch twice or pause it and kind of rewind some parts and stuff like that.
The first episode mostly focuses on, or really only focuses on Wang Mao and sort of his introduction into to Dasha and sort of the organization that is trying to investigate the foundations of science. He doesn't really join the foundations of science quite by the end of it. The guy that they picked to play Wang Mao, I have seen in something before, and I can't quite remember. I should look it up, but I like him.
Yeah.
Dasha was not cast at all the way I would have seen. I almost saw him as a, what is that guy's name? He's a... He played like a Machete and all that. Danny. Anyway, he's like a Hispanic guy. But I almost saw Dasha that way, like very wrinkly, maybe like a long mustache and just sort of dark and brooding. And the Dasha they pick is hilarious. Like he is just so over the top.
He was exactly what I would have expected him to be.
I mean, like I'm not disappointed with it at all. It was really, it was so far it was very good. There were several shots and scenes that were almost word for word out of the book. There's a part where the general was telling Wang Mao, like, the whole human race has been fortunate up to this point. I'm glad they kept that conversation in there because that was like an interesting point for me early on in the book that I had forgotten about after so many other interesting points had been made.
Yeah.
Their headquarters is in an art museum, which is a little bizarre, and there's a giant whale skeleton. That seems like a weird change to me, but it wasn't a problem.
No, and so I wonder, is that an intentional change, or is that just kind of what they had to build a set around? But I could see it as being an intentional change, considering that the whole series ends with our attempt to create a museum and preserve. And like the museum was important in this, maybe the second book with Luoji and his lady.
Sure.
Well, so there could be some significance there.
And that's a good point. There are some things from other books. There's a scene in this first episode where I guess they don't really say it, but I think it's Yufei, Chen Yufei. I can't remember her first name, but she's talking to the European guy, and there's an ant crawling on the glass, and it's very reminiscent of the scene where the ant is crawling on the gravestone. And there's a very good dialogue there that I do not remember being in the book about how the ant is looking for a crack, and I could give it a crack, but it has no choice.
Yeah.
And what she's really alluding to is sort of the Sophon block on technology and understanding of physics and everything. And so I was really glad that conversation got added in. I felt like it added something, but it's one I don't think was in the original book. So
while we are seeing, what's the main girl that sends the note to space?
Yang Dong's mom.
Wei Si?
No.
When she?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, when she. Yeah.
We see her like in the 70s or whenever that was 70s, 60s, 50s. I don't remember. But we do see her in that timeline. You know, book 1 starts in that timeline where we're seeing what her life was like as a child or a young woman, and you know, that building up that characterization explains her actions later. We're not seeing any of the stuff, but we are seeing her push that button and send the message.
That is a good point. Yeah, we just get some Red Coast based scenes that are strictly revolving around her hitting the button, getting the message, do not respond, and then
sending it back. And they're calling it like Purple Mountain.
Oh, did they?
It's not Red Coast, it's like Purple Mountain or something like that. Mm-hmm.
Weird. Okay. I mean, Red Coast is weird because
there's no coast.
There's no coast.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There's also some interesting shots where it's like a drone kind of looking at like hotels and apartments and stuff, and I think those are shots from a Sopan's point of view. And so I thought that was an interesting choice, and maybe we can see some more of that later on. But all told, I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to seeing the second one. We can watch that today, maybe.
Yeah. So. Yep. Very much looking forward to it.
Cool.
So it's like high quality, good acting. I prefer sub to dub, because I feel sometimes the dub makes the acting seem cheesy. Mm-hmm. But it's just because it doesn't line up quite right.
Right.
You know? So I prefer sub, but it means you can't multitask, and that's a challenge with me, actually getting the episode in. Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll kind of keep updating you, probably not one episode at a time, maybe, sure. But just as we watch, we'll let you know kind of what we think. Please let us know what you think. I'll also post something in this video to let everyone know that there are spoilers here. Because, we've already read it.
Let's put that in the title, maybe.
Yeah, we already know how this ends up. And we don't want to mess anything up for you if you don't know. If
you are ahead in the show, I personally wouldn't mind if you use this comment section to talk about the show in general, even if it's not an episode that's episode 1. Because, I don't feel like you can spoil it for us. We get it.
Yeah.
So...
Which they might go rogue, and they might have their own story to tell, Sometimes the director and the writers...
Yeah, well, let's just not check on this video for a little bit until we catch up a little ways.
That'll be fine.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, we hope y'all watch it, because honestly it was really good.
Yeah. So let us know what you think about it, and keep up with us, and we'll keep up with you.
Cool. And maybe we'll do some more of these in the future if other books we've read have become film. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Cool. All right. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.